Hey, what's up? Quick and easy video today. Basically, I'm gonna show you my settings. They're optimized to be competitive for the best visibility and, also to get the most frames that you can get. Right, not much else to say. Let's just jump into settings. Language settings. I use English. I'm Latvian, but Latvian is not on here, so, I use English. Display settings. We got resolution. I use native, which is 1920 by 1080. Display mode, full screen. Right, next up we got maximum frame rate limit. I do limit my frames. I limit to 240. I have a 165 Hz monitor, so it kind of makes sense. And I think I keep my temperatures down by limiting frames, and also you limit stutters and all that. Right, next up we got lobby frame rate. I leave it on 60, also just to keep the temperatures down on my GPU while I'm in the lobby. Next up we got VSync disabled. Smooth frame rate disabled for me. If your PC is about 80, I recommend trying this out. If not, leave it on disabled. Next up we got NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency. I do not have a NVIDIA card, I have an AMD card, so I can't use this, but if you do have an NVIDIA card, use this and set it to enabled plus boost, I think it's called, or enabled both or something like that. Use that. Brightness, for me, I don't really need to mess with this. My picture is good enough already, but if yours is too dark, try this out, see for yourself. This is personal preference basically. Right, next up we got advanced settings. FOV, I set mine to 110. This will hurt your frame rate, so if you can't run 110, I recommend setting this down to like 100 or even 90. 90 is fine, but if you want to see everything, set it to 110. Overall graphics quality, this is going to be custom because we're going to be changing around all these settings. I can leave mine on ultra, but it doesn't really make any sense because there's not much difference between high and ultras, and all these settings basically is going to be on low anyways because we care for them frames, and then we care for the best visibility and stuff like that. So textures, I set mine on high just because I can handle high. If you can't, set it to low or very low. I leave mine on high. Shadows off. View distance, keep it high. There's not much difference between ultra and high. Foliage off. Effects off. Shader quality off. Anti-aliasing, this is one that I do use. You don't have to, but I just like how anti-aliasing looks in the game, so I just keep it on high. Post processing off. Depth of field definitely off. Advanced global illumination. I don't even know what this is. Is this like is this RTX or something? I don't know. Leave it off. I don't even know what that is. Sharpen, I leave it on 2.0. And then we got resolution scaling. I don't use any of this. Yeah, just not. There's no need to use any of these. If your PC is really struggling and your graphics card does support NVIDIA DLSS or AMD FSR, use them. But for me, I just keep it disabled. Next up, we got audio settings. Basically, everything is default except I have my music turned down all the way to 0. Next up, we got controls, your sensitivity and stuff. I just set mine to 30. Driving sensitivity 30, ADS sensitivity 30. When I zoom in, into my scopes, I have 25 just so it's a bit slower. But for the most part, I use 30. Key settings, personal preference, and you can set your cursor to whatever color you want. I will set mine to green. Right, next up, I'm gonna show you my AMD setting. Right, next up we got AMD. First thing you do every time you open up AMD software, check for updates. If yours is up to date, it's good. If not, update your drivers. Let's move on to graphics. I have mine set to custom because I adjusted a lot of these settings. First off, we got super resolution. This doesn't affect super people at all for me. If you use your native resolution, that is. If you set your resolution lower than is your native, then you could take advantage of this. Next up, we got Radiant Anti-Lag. Off, chill, off, boost, off, image sharpening, off, enhance sync, off. Then we got VSync, always off. Next up we got frame rate target control, which is off. Anti-aliasing, use application settings, anti-aliasing method, multi-sampling, what is this name? Morphological anti-aliasing disabled. Next one also disabled. texture filtering, quality, performance, surface optimization. I have it enabled. I don't actually know what they do, but you know, I just leave it on because it says optimization. Tessellation mode, AMD optimized, OpenGL triple buffering off, 10-bit pixel format off, and this last one is basically to reset your shader cache. If you're gonna do this, your game might stutter for the first couple of games. If your game sometimes like starts really like, you could try it and reset this. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I hope I helped you out. If I did, please leave a like, and you know, see you next time. Cheers.